All right, man. How you doing, big?
I'm chilling, bro. How you feeling, man? What's up?
Not much, man. I'm here. I'm ready.
I'm ready to, man. It's another
You ready to go?
event.
Ready to vent?
Yes, sir.
That's why we left this weekend, this Sunday open to have a few little different topics of discussion.
A few topics, and I'm gonna tell you, man. Last night, and I know we kind of we didn't talk about it in the pre-show, but we did talk about it yesterday a little bit, and
What's
that
that?
was the Cat Williams. Talk about it in the pre-show.
That's you,
But
man.
I know it's me. Sorry, man.
It's always you.
It is always me, man. I'm the, and
Always.
I'm the audio guy, right? I had the wrong mute on.
That's all good.
Um,
So you talking about the Cat Williams
the
live
Cat Williams comedy
Netflix
stand up,
special.
the live on YouTube, which I thought was pretty cool. I think that's something
Netflix.
they continue to do. Right. Oh, did I say
Netflix.
YouTube? Yeah, on Netflix. And then the
Mhm.
Canelo and I always pronounce the guy's name
Just
wrong.
wanted
So
to fight on Amazon.
I'm gonna say the Canelo fight. Yeah. It was on pay-per-view though. So
Yeah.
Amazon got pay-per-view now. And that guy was undefeated. Mungia. I don't want to mispronounce the guy's name.
That's fine.
Yeah. But the people that saw it or kind of watched, they know who he was. He was 43-0
And he got
before
beat.
last night. He got beat last night. And I'm gonna tell you something, dude.
Yeah, you got feedback, big.
Do I really?
Yeah.
Huh, I wonder where it's coming from.
Feedback from somewhere. I don't know.
Is it really bad?
No, it's just a little bit.
Say again.
It was just a little bit.
Let me see if I can fix this. Maybe I'm too. Let me see. Let me see if my audio is out of whack anywhere.
You got the echo cancellation on, and
I got that on. Let me turn it off. Difference. How's that? Better.
Now I'm echoing.
It's not echoing now.
It's echo. I'm echoing. Whatever you just did.
What about now?
No, it's gone.
All right.
I can still slightly hear it in the background. You got something's on. There's volume somewhere.
I don't know what it would be. What about that? What about now? Test.
Yeah, I don't hear it now.
You don't hear it now? Okay.
No.
There may have been some bleed over. So I'm gonna clear it. I think I may know what it is. Now it's resolved. I know it's resolved. How about that?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Excellent. Catch me outside. How about that?
So did you watch the fight?
I watched the fight. Well, let me say this. I watched as much of the fight as I could. I was really, really sleepy, man.
Yeah.
I was really sleepy. I got through Cat Williams, and it was
I dozed off on Cat. There's 5 minutes left. I dozed off.
Oh, you dozed off?
Yeah, I didn't find him. I thought he was trying to tell, like, real life story of
New
what's
stuff.
happening in his mind, his opinion of stuff.
Right.
And there was more truth than jokes. He was trying to, in his opinions, he was trying to spit his opinions and not so much. I don't know. He's still good, but it just wasn't.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he was interesting. He just wasn't. He wasn't Cat Williams funny last night. There were moments. There were moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't know you watched it.
I watched it. Yeah, I told you I watched it, man. You got.
I forgot, man. I'm moving around doing all this stuff, man.
I'm a forgetter, so if you forgot that, well, that's bad.
Well,
but I did. Yeah, I did watch that, but I didn't watch the fight though. I didn't watch that.
Yeah, I jumped right over to the fight after, and we saw maybe it was 2 or 3 rounds in one of the last undercard fight.
Okay.
Before it
so when you went on to Amazon Prime, you just turned it on and the fight was there. You didn't have to log into nothing or pay for nothing extra on top of Prime. Word. Word.
Yeah, Billy.
Okay. I don't know. I have Prime. I think I do. I mean, I don't. I didn't watch it. So
yeah, I watched it, and it was a pretty incredible fight.
Okay.
Worth
the hype?
Oh, I think so. Because the young guy, Munguia,
Mhm.
I hope I'm pronouncing the guy's name right. I mean, he was a big guy. He was big, he was quick, he was efficient, but he couldn't do much with Canelo. I mean, he had a moment here or there,
Mhm.
but I tell you, man, I don't know if people realize, and maybe I didn't realize how good Canelo is because he's had so many fights, and for him to be that um excellent in the latter part of his career, he's not talked about enough, man. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
I was
So,
not I was not expecting him to second.
was it heavyweight?
No, I think there are, let me look it up. They might be like welterweight. They're not heavyweight, so I know that for sure. Let me see.
When was the last
You know how
heavyweight fight?
I'm gonna ask Google what weight class is Canelo in. What weight class is Canelo in? Super middleweight.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. I know welterweight, I know featherweight.
So check him out.
Feather
So this is what I didn't
I
realize. I put my money in the wrong place because I actually bet
You bet on that?
I bet on the undefeated guy. I did. Not much. I just went
Yeah,
on
we
DraftKings.
I don't bet on
Yeah,
any
it wasn't much. I was just like, I had some money on my account that was just hanging
mhm.
out, fun.
Burning a hole in your pocket.
Not really, but I was like, "Hey, here's a fight. It's a chance to grow the money a little bit in it." Because most of the money, I just leave it in there and just continue to bet. Just it's
I got
like
you.
a little game. Um, but it was like $30 that I bet. It wasn't,
Okay.
you
So
know.
you didn't win?
No, I lost
Oh,
$30.
okay.
But Canelo, I should have looked at his record first. He's 58, uh,
Yeah,
and
but
one.
that, you know,
He's 58, 1 and 2.
he's 2.
No, no, no. He won last night.
Okay, alright.
2 is the
So
draw. No, the draw. The last number is the draw. So 58 wins, 1 loss, and 2
so
draws.
it wasn't a draw, it was a actual
Oh,
he
no,
won.
he won.
It was knockout, he knocked him out.
It wasn't a knockout. He won by decision.
Decision. Okay.
Mm. At least when I woke up, that's what it looked like.
A lot of betting this weekend. So you had that, the Derby ran, the 150th Kentucky Derby.
150 of Kentucky Derby, man. We could.
That's and that's the longest running, I think, sport that's been uninterrupted. So, like,
We look
even
at
like
we go back
2020,
150 years.
like
150 years.
2020, they didn't even stop. So World War II,
They still did it. Oh, but they didn't have people. They didn't have spectators,
they
right?
had some yeah, but it wasn't no, the place wasn't packed. So then but they ran it the first weekend in September, I believe, first Saturday in September, I wanna say.
Let's
Can't
see.
remember the details, but
Let me look at
it's
this.
always the first Saturday in May and running for the roses,
Right.
But 150 years is
There's a lot of parties that I see people
excuse
do
me.
the Kentucky Derby. Even if they're not there, they'll dress up and have a soiree and watch the race. Let's see,
That Woodford Reserve.
1874.
Say it
100
again?
years ago was 1874. So this is what's of so unique to me, and I thought about something like this over the weekend, and I don't know why, but I just thought about it. I was like, "Hey," matter of fact, I was thinking about it last night. I was watching Cat Williams, and
Mhm.
one of the things he said, well, he talked about what is cool, what is not cool to be in 2024, right? And I was thinking to myself, there's probably, and I don't know why this just came to my mind, but there's probably no one still alive from the 1800s, a person.
No, the oldest person just died. He was 115, I wanna say.
115, which means he was still
115,
born in
it was either
1900.
112, 115, but it went there was 2 guys who had, like, the same birthday who would have been next,
Mhm.
and before they could get to both of them, one of them passed away. So, like, the oldest person now is 111, 12, 13, 14, somewhere in that range.
So 1900s is what
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
right, so 1900s. So that means, and this is weird for people to think about, but I like to talk about things that make people think a little bit.
Mhm.
Everybody from 1899 and before is dead, like everybody. Now, if you look at it right now,
Yeah,
20, let's say, well, we're in 2000.
depressing.
So 2100, right? We saw 2000 and the year 2000, we saw that happen. We saw a millennium
Yeah, you won't see another one.
flip. Won't see another one more than likely,
Mm-mm.
right?
No.
So in that period,
Unless medicine or something crazy. I mean, you have to do something scientific, but
well, yeah, something,
naturally, no.
yeah. At this point, naturally, no. So
No.
typically, naturally now, anyone that has been born within the 1900s, from
Mhm.
1900 to 2000, in the year 2150, I'm being way out there because I don't have to go that far. But now
That's
let me
fine.
say this. I did watch something with, it wasn't this weekend. It was some scientific conversation with our one of our guys, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Mhm.
And he said that at some point in the future, death will not be a thing that we'll have to contend to because people's lifespan will start to expand. And then at some point, someone will figure it out how to have an unlimited, without you getting hit by a bus or something like that. That's what he said. I don't
Yeah,
know if that's conceivable because I can't, like, what's inside of me. I just
well, yeah, what he's basically getting at, somebody's gonna lock down the your spirit, your soul, your whatever it is that drives you,
mhm.
because your body's gonna wear out. And your body's just gonna your body can't sustain. Organs fail. I mean, I
Right.
don't really wanna even get into that. It's just this your body can't sustain, it ages.
Well,
So,
because it's like, okay, so this really what we're in is a vehicle.
it's a vessel. Yeah.
It's a vessel. It's a vehicle that we're actually, like, traveling in,
Mhm.
on this flying rock, this spinning rock that we're on right now. We're traveling through
That's
this.
the thing too. So I'm glad you said rock because if you live long enough,
Mhm.
the sun is a star
Right.
and all stars die out.
All stars die out. So you're saying it's gonna burn out at some
It's
point.
gonna burn out.
Mhm.
You can't sustain life without the sun. I don't
Right.
care how much synthetic things you come up with, light you make, batteries, whatever.
Mhm.
At some point, you gotta have sunlight.
You got it
Um,
right. But okay, so in the universe and
mhm.
galaxies and whatever, at least from what I've heard from, I'm not gonna say it was NASA per se, but scientists, that there are many planets in the universe that are equivalent and
Yeah,
operate like.
we can't even get to yeah, but remember our sun. We only have one sun in our solar system, though. We don't have multiple suns.
But what I'm saying is
We
we
can't
don't
even travel.
know.
Well, hold on. Yeah, but hold on. Listen to me. We
Okay.
can't even travel to Mars yet. Mars uses the same sun we use. Okay. Remember that. You know how long it takes to get to Mars if you could travel there? It's a long journey. So if you have to travel to in the next 7, 8, 9, well, I don't know, Pluto, whatever, they're still considering whatever, but it's been a long time since we've been in school. But, you know, all of those planets use our sun in the solar system. You have to get
Well,
past
that's in
that
our
before you
that's in what they call and I think
it's
they've
just in our
definitely,
universe.
right, in our universe, but it's the 9 planets or
I
what is it, 10 planets now?
don't know. That's why I said I don't, I don't keep up with that. I mean, they changed it one time. They
Gotta look
changed
this up.
Pluto to not being a planet, and it was.
I'm super curious now about this, and I don't even know how we got here,
A
but
lot
I
of
feel
fighting
like,
and betting and horse racing.
well, I
150
feel
years.
like it's an interesting conversation, uh, so
But
was
you
that
do understand what I'm saying. We can't even get to Mars right now, a human. I don't think with traveling wise. Obviously, I know Musk and he's working on vessels to get there, rockets and all, but it's a long journey.
mhm.
So that's in our solar system. To get out of our solar system, that would be, I mean, just to build a ship to do that. Come on, man. I don't even know if that can be done.
Right.
You'd have to have like, have people have children on board a vessel and be nothing but trained to propel that vessel after they pass.
Mhm.
I'm assuming, to get to that length past our solar system. I mean, right? Would you not? I mean, that's why we need Musk to come on here, man. He can give us his opinion.
Oh, that would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he can come here and give us his opinion on how far you can travel,
How many
how fast,
planets?
putting politics aside on
Oh,
that individual.
here we go. Someone says, and this is online,
Mhm.
are there 8 or 9 planets in our solar system?
Right.
Oh, and then someone says, what are the 12 planets? So our solar system is made up of a star, which is the sun, and 8 planets. Now, it used to be 9, didn't it?
It was, yeah, Pluto was taken down at one point.
What do they call? Okay, hold, here we go. So 8 planets, 146 moons, a bunch of comets, asteroids, and space rocks, ice, and
There's only
several
one sun, though.
planets,
That's what I was getting at. There's only one
such as Pluto. So they're saying Pluto is a dwarf
dwarf planet.
planet, right?
Okay.
8 planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune.
You said
Mercury,
Uranus.
I know I said Uranus.
I had to say that.
No,
Yeah.
I don't want to say no, whatever.
Cornball.
Uh,
I just had to say it, you know.
so, but this is interesting stuff, and it's amazing how things change over time. You know, because you get the inclination. It's like, okay, so how do we find this stuff out? Like, who goes? I mean, we know the astronauts do it, and
I
all of
guess
that.
what I'm trying to get to is to nip in the bud that I don't care what anyone gets at as far as eventually locking it down, right? We can sustain our bodies or we can move our energy to some other vessel, whatever.
Right,
The sun is gonna die out. It's a star. It
right.
is
It's
a
not
star.
it will, but it's going to be a long, probably I would say a long time after
It
we're
is,
gone.
yeah, that's fine. But what I'm telling you is if they sustain a way to find without making, you don't have to worry about your life expectancy.
Mhm.
If you ever get to that, you got to tackle that problem.
Right,
That's a big problem.
right.
But here's the thing. At that point, you're probably not human anyways any longer if you're sustaining someone's life indefinitely because the human body's gonna, I mean, you
Well,
know,
I that's valid what you're saying.
excuse
Um,
me.
but I would think you would still be you originated from a human form, and the pathway here is
Mhm.
still through a mom, a mother, and they haven't that hasn't been changed or modified as far as we know. We know as far as we know
Well,
on Earth,
they call,
you know.
back in the day, test tube babies. I mean, people.
But how okay, so let me ask you this. So explain it to me, because you're right. I forgot about the test tube babies, but don't they still put them in women?
I I don't know. I'm not a biologist. I'm not any of those things, man.
Here
Listen,
I go
hold on,
again.
we're getting way past my pay grade here. I'm not a professional scientist.
Let me look this up, man, because
But
now man,
look,
I love science, man. I really do,
all
man.
I'm saying is I'm not arguing with anybody who says how we're not gonna have to one day consider life expectancy, right? Not arguing that.
Neil deGrasse Tyson said that.
Tyson said that, right? I understand that. But I'm telling you is that I don't care how far you take it, how much you argue it, you
Okay,
are going to your body's gonna break down.
I agree with you. It's just like our
But
cars break
let's
down.
say they somehow solve the mystery. Okay, fine. But the sun is gonna burn out.
Right.
And unless you're some type of mechanical being, which at that point you're not human. What do
I think, um, we're gonna move to another planet
But
when
I
that
just went over this with you though. It takes how long to get out of the solar
that's
system?
right now, because
I don't care
that's
what
right now.
at any no. We can't do it at all. So what I'm telling you is they can calculate speed and distance. What I just told you was you have to have probably a whole family on board, and they have to have children while they're traveling just to take for that purpose to get there.
There was a great movie
Yeah, I ain't
that
talking about
had
Hollywood. I'm not talking about movies. I'm talking about facts, man.
no, I'm
The
trying
hell
to
with that.
tell you about this, because these people, what they did, they put them on this spaceship, and I can't remember the amount of time that they were, in a suspended animation.
I
They weren't
understand. I've
dead,
seen 'em. Yeah.
but they weren't aging. They
They're
weren't
like
able.
a time capsule.
They
Yeah, I
were
get
like
it.
they were like in some type of suspended animation
Where it slows
because
down the aging process.
they
Yes.
knew that right. They knew the
Mhm.
process was going to take um more than a lifetime
Oh,
to get to the next destination.
Thundercats did that. Alright, I'm just
Did they
telling
really?
you. Yeah, absolutely. Their home planet exploded, okay? They had to get and listen to me, they had to travel to a distant place. They got hijacked, all in Exodus, episode 1, Thundercats, 1980.
Well, isn't that the same with the the
They're
uh
called suspension capsules.
the
They get in these suspension
Transformers,
capsules and it suspends
the
time, so that
Autobots?
means well, the Autobots are not human.
Right.
They're not human, they don't need that.
Thundercats ain't human.
They are, they're part animal, part human, part cat, part human, so they are human.
No,
They
that's
die,
part
they grow old, they
part
die.
cat. That's a hybrid.
Right, you're still human though. Still die.
How are you human? Cats die. They're
Right.
not human. They only live, what,
So
15,
you proved my
20
point. Thank
years
you.
for old cat.
That's what the producers are getting at, that they're part cat and part human, so they're definitely gonna die. So cats die, humans die. They anyways, I'm not talking so much about them in general. I'm just saying that the process in order to get to the planet they could live on, which was third Earth, they called it.
Mhm.
Okay. Third out from the sun, Earth. They had to get into suspension capsules because
Okay.
in order to make it that far. And
And with the
somebody had
amount
to
of travel
pilot the ship because their autopilot was damaged, and the elder decided to pilot as far as he could. And of course, he died because he couldn't make it.
right.
He wouldn't have made it in the suspension capsule anyways because
He
some aging takes
sacrificed
place.
himself.
Correct.
Oh, that's
The
awesome.
very first episode.
Gotcha. So check this out. Test tube baby. Let's go back to that.
Okay, yeah.
So this is what I got. Doing in vitro. And I always thought that was one word. I did not realize it was inside of, like inside. So it's in vitro fertilization. Mature eggs are collected from ovaries and fertilized with sperm in a lab. Then
Mhm.
the procedure is done to place one or more of the fertilized eggs, called embryos, in a uterus, which is where babies develop. One full cycle of IVF takes 2 to 3 weeks. So what happens is test tube
So
babies,
yeah, yeah.
so they still have to it's still
Has
made
to
through a
cook in the
woman.
oven. Mhm. I
So
get you.
so now I didn't realize that test tube babies and in vitro fertilization was the same thing.
Was one and the same?
I didn't realize that till right now because I mean I know people that have had trouble having children use in vitro,
Okay.
but I didn't realize because back in the 80s when my Eddie Murphy test tube baby,
It's just test tube baby, yeah.
right? So I didn't realize that was the same.
Mhm.
I didn't realize that was the same
I
thing.
don't yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's
So
what
the gateway is still the same place.
yeah, but again, we're skipping all that. I'm just saying the sun. Sun's gonna go
Burn
bye-bye.
out.
I don't care if let's say that's what I'm getting at. If you figure it out,
Mhm.
if they figure out how to prolong your life indefinitely, once that bad boy burns out, you're gonna freeze to death.
But if they figure that out, they're gonna figure out how to
Replace it?
another place.
Yeah, but again, getting to that other place.
We can't. This is the thing. There was places that when they went to the moon, when they went to the moon, because never mind. We ain't gonna get into that.
Are you saying we didn't go to the moon, bro?
We're not gonna get into that right
Come
now,
on,
Billy.
man. We've been to the moon. I got
I'm not
moon rocks,
saying.
man.
Look, what I'm saying is, I'm not gonna say we didn't go to the moon. I don't know if that first one.
You're just jealous your fat ass can't get in a spaceship to get to the
I
moon.
don't wanna. I don't wanna go, man. I like it on the rock.
That's
Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
So
But
if
what
we couldn't fathom at the time we could get there, I understand where you're going.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
getting to the moon back in what was that? 19 was it 50 something? What was it? 60 something?
Yeah.
62?
So what you're saying is in 25, 45, we'll be able to get on a ship that propels us
We
to a
better
new
get
planet
further. It'll be a
with a
whole
new
different type
sun.
of propulsion
Ocean.
that
Yeah, with a
yeah,
new
that
sun.
we'll have. Yeah. Because
Mhm.
remember now, Remember, let me not say remember. Let me just say think about um transport not transportation, teleportation. Hasn't been mastered yet. They're working on it though, brother.
Beaming me up, you mean?
Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah. Okay, well,
And not like Pookie.
while you're living in that fantasy, here's the deal. All you and your buddies, let me just tell you this. Unless you believe in reincarnation, I'm glad I don't have to worry about all that. Let someone else handle that. That's fine. Doesn't mean I don't respect who's handling it, who's thinking about it now. That's great.
Right.
We got a lot of stuff to be worrying about right now.
Yeah.
We can't even get. Well, I don't want to get off track too far, man, because that's a whole nother. There's so many things that we need done, huh?
Go ahead. Let's talk about it.
We can't even get the Fed to lower the interest rate, man. We're talking about trying to get to another planet with another sun.
I get you, but that
Okay.
money's still flowing over there to them.
Some states you can't even bet online. You can't get. I mean, there's stuff going on. Like it's stupid. You can't smoke marijuana if you want to.
I
You
think
can't
that might. I mean, you can smoke marijuana now.
legally. I'm talking about everywhere. I
Okay.
don't smoke marijuana, so I don't care. I'm just telling you that there's
I don't
issues
smoke marijuana.
that people want to vote on, from no abortions to abortion, to voting, to taxes, immigration. There's core issues. Your retirement, the economy.
Yeah.
It's just, and we're sitting here discussing about what Tyson said about getting us to a certain point in life where we're not going to have to worry about an expiration date.
Expiration, right. So
Right.
it makes me wonder, at that point, does that mean people no longer get sick?
Well, right now, dog, they can't even keep the water on some places when storms come through, and they ain't figured that out yet. So
Mhm.
I just think that research and stuff is great, right? And figuring things out. But we need to be tackling like hunger and clean water and diseases before we're worried about how long, we're gonna be able to prolong people's lives.
I
Oh,
think that's a part of the, I mean, I get you. I mean, I don't know what to or how to, you know, but, I mean, I agree with you on that. I mean, there's a lot of things we got, we got third world countries, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I just looked at a documentary the other day, and I should have shared this with you, but I don't know why I didn't. It was a documentary about Akon and Akon City in Africa.
Africa, right? I've
And
actually watched that. Not
you
that,
have
I don't know if it's that one, but I've watched one on him though.
Was it a guy that said he was going to
It's
Akon
been a while
City?
ago.
Say again?
It's been a while. It's been a long time ago, actually.
Okay, well, there was this guy, and he said, "I'm gonna travel to Akon City and see what's going on because, it looks amazing, all the renderings."
Mhm.
Renderings
I don't think it was though. I don't
it
think it was how it looked in the renderings though.
Oh, it wasn't at all.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
What happened? Because some people are calling if you look online, some people are calling it scam. Because he got, like, a few $1,000,000,000.
Yeah, I don't remember the gist. I just know that if we're talking about what he believes is beautiful, you know, opinions are subject to
Well, there
those
was
opinions,
there
but
when the guy said when the driver told the guy, he's like, "Well, I wanna go to Akon City. I wanna see how it's going." He was like, "Well, nothing's there." Right? And I thought he meant there
like
were
there's
no
nothing you wanna do there.
well, no, I thought he meant there were no inhabitants.
Oh no, there's people there.
There ain't people there.
There's people there. Akon goes there. He's got a garden, house, and all that.
Not in Akon City.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's the what is portrayed as what is there.
It
'Cause he
it
talks about that in one of his songs. He talks about it. Water in his garden and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the renderings are amazing of
Yeah.
what it's gonna look like, but
Well,
I
what's the
don't
issue?
know because this documentary was a few years old because they from what they played a clip of Akon, he was saying that they stopped because of um, COVID when everything got shut down.
Mm.
So they had to stop
Yeah, the
construction.
one I
There
watched
was
was way
only
before COVID. Way before.
there was only like one thing, and it wasn't anything. It was a thing.
Anything thing.
It was a thing that could have been like, I'm sure some kids that skateboard or BMX would have loved it, but that was it. It was that thing in the middle of sand,
Hmm.
big open.
Yeah, but he's supposed to develop it though, correct?
Yeah. It's probably a total futuristic city, and maybe there's some new developments, man. This is what we need. This we got to get this other screen, man.
Yeah, but
Uh-oh. Breaking news, buddy.
what's that?
3 hours ago. Woo! Ric Flair kicked out of restaurant after incident with kitchen. Woo!
Ric Flair.
That's my
That
guy.
ain't breaking news. That's old man. That's old man syndrome.
Yeah, man. That's my guy, though, man.
Hey, man, that dude's a beast. Let's not get off
God,
topic
man.
onto that.
That is my guy, man.
I'm sure he is your guy. You talking about off the chain.
Yeah.
He had a very interesting career. If we get straight, if we stray off that topic now, we get into wrestling, man.
Let me
Go ahead.
Let me give this quote from the Nature Boy himself, Ric Flair.
Go for it.
And I'm gonna do it in his fashion.
No.
And only the way that he can do it. I spent $1,500 at, I don't know how to pronounce this place.
You got to do the whole head thing. You know how you
I know, but I got to read too.
Right.
I spent $1,500 at Piaciano's SFP to be disrespected more than I ever have in my entire life. Let me set this down so I can really get into it. After taking 20 pictures with the customers and the staff, I was asked to leave the establishment because of an issue I had with the kitchen manager. Taking too long in the bathroom. I would highly recommend that anyone who wants to enjoy a relaxing time in Gainesville at a nice restaurant to never, ever visit this place. Whoa!
Oh, snap. Nature Boy.
Look, there it is right there.
Go ahead, brother.
Look, that's what I just read right there.
Yeah, he fired off, huh?
Yep.
Well, he here, put it back up there. I'll put you up bigger so you can see it. Go ahead.
I don't need to see it. Oh, you mean for everybody else to see it?
Yeah, you forget where you are sometimes.
Oh, it's not mirrored either, so it's displayed backwards. Oh no, it shows. No, it shows fine.
Showed it just fine.
But for me, gotcha. We're just sharing that with y'all. You know how we're the outspoken ones.
So
I hope y'all give me a grade on my Ric Flair. I'm better off cuff.
I'll give you like a B.
You give me a B?
Give you a B.
Okay. And that one, I mean, but I can do better if I'm just doing it.
You have to do the hands. You know, you got to. He does the hand thing, the walk.
Woo!
He'll do all that. Yeah, he gotta. It's just unfortunate.
I need the hair. I know
that silver lock going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the guy, man. That was the guy. Do you know, man? People say a lot of things about him, but I got a lot of respect for Ric Flair. Seriously, I'm not joking.
That's good.
Because back in the day, I was back in the day there was really, there was more wrestling franchises, but where I'm from on the East, you were either a WWF at that time, WWE now, but WWF back then, fan, or you were
WCW.
or NWA first. NWA transitioned into WCW.
Well,
You didn't
I
know that?
know. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, NWA
I
is
thought Ted Turner had
WCW is a WCW, World Class Wrestling, is a evolution of National Wrestling Alliance.
I thought Ted Turner had
That's when it
wrestled
became
Flair,
that's
and
when it
they
became WCW.
okay.
Because I don't know if you remember when they were on TBS on Saturdays.
Yeah, way back in the day. Ted
Yeah,
Turner
that's what that was at the Omni. They were at the Omni Hotel.
Turner Broadcast.
Right. And Ted Turner got involved and
Well, Ted Turner had his every if you watch, there's some stuff you can go look back at. There's like different parts of the country had their own wrestling like thing
yeah, you had
before
Mid-South.
before Vince McMahon took it to the level where he went
He
and bought
bought up
the
all the
American title.
territories and
Mhm.
made it a thing. But that was okay, so early when the WWF, they were in New York. They had a big they were in New York. But they had a big national presence. And NWA World or WCW, they were in the South. So they were in the North and South. And then you had other territories like Mid-South. There's a great wrestling movie called The Iron Claw, which is the story of the
Well,
the brothers, Von Erichs.
okay.
It's the story of the wrestling family, the Von Erichs, and there's one brother that remains, but they still got a pretty big family. But it's a really good movie because I'm
Well,
a wrestling fan.
if you wanna do a documentary, you watch the life of um, Ultimate Warrior.
That was great.
And you watched it? The biography on him? Okay.
I did.
You saw where him and Sting at one point were
Tag
partners
team
and all that.
partners, yep.
This is prior to the
Prior
other places
right.
coming apart and all, coming
Yep.
together and tearing apart, but that has a lot of history in it. The one with Andre from coming overseas wrestling, you can watch his as well.
Right. I saw that.
And yeah, I mean, it's fantastic stuff. You can gain a lot of knowledge by watching those. If you're into wrestling, even if
Yeah,
you're not into wrestling.
if you're in the and I'm in there. Let me say this. I'm not so much in the world of today's wrestling. It's a
Mhm.
it's a different product than what I really enjoyed. Um, I really enjoyed the talking at the booth and not in the ring. And I understand things evolve, and I'm not knocking it. There's some wrestling there I can watch and I love. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I never thought that I would get to the point where I would have people that I enjoyed that was in the WWF or WWE. I didn't think that would ever happen. But you got personalities like The Rock, and you got Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's got a great story.
Mhm.
He got a great story because remember he was a couple different characters before he landed on Stone Cold.
Most of them have been something else prior
Yeah.
to coming on mainstream to find that, that spark.
The thing that really resonates with him. I mean,
You remember
I could talk
you
about look, we talking about classic wrestling, man. I could talk about this. There's a matter of fact, on my YouTube, I'm gonna go back and watch. There's a video where Booker T comes up on Stone Cold.
wasn't he Harlem Heat? Weren't they
He was in
Harlem?
Harlem Heat. It was Booker T
Yeah,
and Stevie Ray.
Steve
And I
okay.
think
Yeah.
later they had another. I
Yeah,
think
3
Booker
3
T had
people.
another
I know, but it was Harlem Heat was him and, Ray.
Stevie Ray. Yeah.
So, you remember Mean Gene?
Mean Gene. Yeah.
So, he would always have the guys come in, and they would film and talk, and let me tell you something, Mean Gene,
Right,
he would
right.
go back and forth, and
Yeah.
Jimmy Hart and all them. That was the pinnacle of wrestling. I mean, I guess it depends on where you grow up now, if when you grew up or if you're still growing up watching it, because I still watch it.
Some of the classic stuff?
No, I
Or
watched
you
that,
mean
but
you watch current day
I
wrestling?
watch I watch the main events. So I do
Okay.
WrestleMania, SummerSlam will come up, all that
SummerSlam.
stuff. So,
I
uh,
don't even see now, I don't even know when they are, but
well, now they're on
I
it's
heard The
pay-per-view.
Rock went back.
He did. He
Yeah.
came back and fought, in WrestleMania on that Friday night or Saturday night. I don't remember whatever first night was. And he teamed up with, yeah, lose my mind, man.
He tag teamed with somebody. Was it an older wrestler or a new guy?
No, it was, man, it's embarrassing. Give me a second here. The tribal chief, man. It's his name, man.
The only
Roman
tribal
Reigns.
chief I know
Woo!
is
There you
Paul
go, Roman
Heyman.
Reigns. So it
You
was
know,
him and Roman Reigns, and The Rock came out, did his thing. Now I heard there was supposed to be someone else in the ring come in towards the end there. They couldn't get the contract done. I don't know if it was, Steve Austin or who it was,
mhm.
but Undertaker showed up and did him in. But it was great to see older heads come back into the ring just
Yeah,
for a moment.
yeah,
So um, they're doing some good things. Triple H took over the business and
right.
he's moving it along. So
Him and Stephanie, are they married for real?
yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Vince just, I
Step
think
down.
he sold the rest of all his stuff's gone now. Everything's dissolved, so he's done. He's officially no longer a part,
Officially out of the business.
100% done with WWF. He has no ties anymore to
Got you.
WWF.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think with Triple H at the helm, I think they're in good hands.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're popping, man.
I think they're in good hands.
That that that
I
show
know Vince had some issues. Say again?
that 2-day show in Philly for WrestleMania was like it was 2 days outdoors, packed 75,000 people a night, 74 I don't quote me on the numbers. It was 70 some thousand people a night, you
That's
know?
awesome.
That's 150,000 people in 2
Yeah, that's
days
great, man. That's awesome.
live
Yeah,
at
live.
at the event, you know? That's it's a lot of
Putting their bodies on the line, I mean, they've always done that, but,
mhm.
man, what were those brothers? The Hardy Boys.
We had a lot of Steiner Brothers. I mean, I was into the Steiner Brothers.
But, I mean, the Hardy Boys, they were more, that jumping off of the top rope into the concrete floor, man, and that stuff just I don't
Well,
understand. I
they're
mean,
professional stuntmen, though. I mean, that's what they do, you know what I mean? It's
they're not trained on stunts, not at that level.
at that level?
Well, I guess
Yeah,
they have to be. You know what? What am I talking about?
yeah, they're professionals, man. I
I
mean,
know they're professionals, man.
you couldn't do it if you weren't a professional. There's no way. Your body couldn't handle it.
I agree with you.
You
But
gotta know
let
the
me say this
cues.
though, there's some things, I mean, just like I don't know if you were watching that pay-per-view when Owen Hart came down.
When he died,
Yeah.
yeah. I
You
seen
were
it.
watching it?
I wasn't watching it. I don't remember watching it live
I
because
was watching it live and I knew he was dead.
you think I don't remember if he I don't know if I would have known he was dead or not at that moment.
Dude, he was
I saw him fall from up there though.
and he went straight into the turnbuckle, head first,
Yeah. I don't remember. I know he fell from up high though. So
broke his neck.
yeah, it sucks.
It does.
Yeah, that
What shocks me, I mean, I was blown away in the late '80s, well, mid to late '80s, how they had those scaffold matches. I don't know if you watched those. That was the NWA stuff, and it was called I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it was like they would be fighting on top of a scaffold. Road Warriors,
Mhm.
had Flair up there. I mean, these guys, man. I mean, they were trained. I guess they would have to be trained on how to take.
You have to take how to take falls, how to fall correctly, and
That's a hell of a fall, Billy.
I didn't say it wasn't. I ain't saying it's not. I'm just telling you that you have to be you can't how about this? You and I got up there and did that. You wouldn't be fighting the next night in another city
Not at all.
off the top rope. You know, much
Oh,
less
let me plug, man, this, man, the, 30 for 30, man, The Nature Boy, man. It's a great
you
documentary.
love you some Ric Flair, I tell you.
That's my dude, man, I'm just telling you.
He's all right. He's all right.
It's the best to ever do it, man.
I disagree.
Who's better?
I would just disagree with that an overall statement. I'm not a big Hogan fan, but he's probably the best to ever do it.
No way. And you know what? Let me tell you something. He gives all the props to Ric Flair because he said,
I didn't say that where they came from. We're talking about what made the industry, though.
What made the industry? Well, Vince made that. Let's be clear. WWF or WWE, Vince made that what it was. Now, the characters that he had lined up, eat your vitamins, and all of that was great. Macho Man, snap it to a Slim Jim. All that stuff was great.
You have to have the talent on stage performing to sell the ticket, though.
Listen to what I'm saying. Even you will hear
Ric Flair did not highlight those WrestleManias, though. Those 1, 2, 3s with when you had Taker, or not Taker, but Ultimate Warrior and Hogan. Hogan missed
they were still in separate leagues at that point.
But that's
Ric Flair headlined every NWA.
But we're talking about what okay, what's running right now?
What's running right now? WWE.
WrestleMania.
Is that what you mean? Oh yeah, right. WrestleMania is still running, but they still hold on. SummerSlam is a if I'm let me think now.
I don't
that's from the NWA.
Okay.
So what happened was Vince ended up eating WCW as well. That's why everybody came together. He ate everything.
He ate it up because of who was headlining. Ric Flair was headlining over here, but that didn't blow off like this did over here.
Ric Flair came over. You got it, dude. You're being disrespectful, man. You're being disrespectful, man.
Dude. It's just a character, man.
I hear what you're saying, but what
he's not good. I'm not saying he's not good. You said he was the best to ever do it.
He is the best to ever do it. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
You can have your opinion. Go ahead.
No, I'm telling you why. It's because he made other wrestlers look better than they were.
Okay.
Wasn't about him. I mean, it was, but it wasn't.
So he's not the best to ever do it then?
He was the best to ever do it. Let me tell you why. Let me give you another reason why.
Okay, go ahead.
Flair was loved and hated.
Okay.
He was loved to be hated. And what he would do as a performer. And most guys don't do this, especially not as long as he did it. 60 minutes. He would wrestle for 1 hour.
Okay.
Hogan tell you best he's got is 10 minutes, and he's gonna hit you with a leg drop, and he's out of there. But Flair, in that whole time, he's gonna give you a match, and people that hate him are gonna think that their guy's gonna win because this guy's kicking Flair's ass all over the mat the entire time. Yeah. And at the end, what happens? He does something slick. He pins the guy. He barely gets away, and they live to hate him again. That dude is what made the business what it is, man. Everybody's taking notes, man. I'm just telling you.
I didn't say that he didn't help make the business what it is, but you said the best to ever do it.
He is the best to ever do it, man. He's the best to ever do it, man.
How about this? He put on a good show. I tell you, an entertainer who I think could be, if you want to, we're talking about putting on a show. The Macho Man with his antics.
Put on the show. Rock
with his antics. I'm talking about the antics though, and the glasses and the spot Flair, the Flair on his jacket, how he was, and just
absolutely, I could go down a list of guys like that.
Yeah, but memorable inside and outside of the ring. Ric Flair, he just wasn't, in my opinion, he just wasn't.
Your opinion. And excuse me one second. I'm sorry, y'all, because I got.
That's how stressed out he is over a wrestler. That's crazy.
No, I got some popcorn.
Yeah. It's Ric Flair. It's the thing you did. It stressed you out.
Oh, look, you guys that's watching, if you watch to this part, please give your opinion because I think Billy is a player. I think he's misguided. I honestly believe Ric Flair, the nature boy, Ric Flair, is the best to ever do it. This man wrestled 60 minutes.
Yeah,
when
good
he
for
was
him.
defending his championship, 60 minutes, 1 hour.
Good for him.
Woo! And I'm all night long.
Maybe he should did half hours instead, because and maybe he could have came over to WWF and
Look how long he
Yeah,
did.
sure.
Let me tell you. Let me say this.
I
You
watched him
know
live.
why he didn't do that?
How about this? Since he's the best to ever did it, when he or ever do it, excuse me. When I watched him live, I watched Sting even in WCW was the headline when he came along. Ric Flair was still in his prime, but he couldn't outperform Sting with the
What
crowd.
are you talking about?
With the crowd, bro. Crowd.
No way, bro. Listen, see, you're missing it because this is the thing. Sting doesn't get there without Ric Flair. Sting said himself he wasn't that great of a performer. He had enthusiasm. I mean, I love Sting. I was a big Sting fan too. But Flair, the hate that people have for Flair is what got Sting over.
So why was he not put in with Lex and Sting and Big Van Vader and all them when he was in his prime, supposedly early 90s,
No,
WCW?
he was in his prime in the 80s, mid 80s.
All right, so you see, he was washed up by then. Dude,
No. I'm not saying he was washed up. What I'm saying is his prime was the original Four Horsemen.
Right, but not WWF though.
Arn Anderson,
I remember
Tully
Arn Anderson.
Blanchard, and Ole Anderson with JJ Dillon. Okay,
Well, I don't remember 4. I don't remember all 5, but I remember 4.
JJ Dillon was their manager.
Okay, yeah.
He was actually, let me tell you, he was actually Tully Blanchard's manager. But when they all came together, he ended up being the manager for the Horsemen.
Arn Anderson was a bad dude now.
Arn Anderson was my dude, man.
He was more of a classic style, like so. Ric Flair put on a show with his hair and he danced around and all.
Yeah,
but
Arn
just
was the enforcer.
On, Arn Anderson was like a more traditional wrestler, just straight up, no antics, no. He just wanted to come in the ring and do his thing, and I used to like that. Yeah,
he was the cleanup man. He was the enforcer. That's why they called me enforcer. Arn Anderson.
I remember that, but I remember.
I love those guys, man. That they really they took, and I know the reason I said that about Ric Flair is because they were trying to woo him over to WWF when it was still WWF, right? He wouldn't leave because you know why? He didn't want to leave those guys because with him at the top, he was able to carry the franchise so that everybody continued to eat. That's why he didn't leave.
A failing franchise.
It wasn't. Oh my God! What are you talking about?
A failing franchise.
It was not a failing. It was not failing.
And it took over.
You don't even, Billy. I'm telling you, man, you don't
right now. Which one is running right now?
That's not the point.
If it's not failing, it's taken over.
It got acquired. They bought it and merged it in. They bought it.
Could not overtake the other.
Well,
That's how life is, man.
Vince was a very good businessman.
Okay, well, then failing it somewhere. It failed, dog. That's what I'm saying. If you riding high with a masculine
business,
what?
Somebody in the comments, somebody please.
You gotta get off the man. You're getting notifications about Ric Flair. That's how big you are on him, man. Nobody else knew about Ric Flair's breaking news but you, because you followed the guy to a T.
I don't. I went on my phone and it was on my
breaking news, like something like
no. It was on the news feed. I went to I don't know, Google page or whatever.
Okay. It's okay. You love Ric Flair. I get it.
I do love Ric Flair. Ric Flair is that guy, man. He really is.
But he's not the greatest to ever do it.
He is the greatest to ever do it, bro. You can't. I'm gonna tell you something. Who then? Who's better than Ric Flair? Who?
Come on, man.
Who?
There's like 20 guys, man.
Name them.
You want me to go down the list?
Go down the list, Billy.
Tell you what, next time we come on here, I'm gonna lay out a list for you of like at least 20 guys who could outperform Ric Flair.
I disagree.
20. I can give you 20.
You need to brush up on your classic wrestling homework and
Classic wrestling.
yeah.
You said greatest to ever do it. You've done wiped off. Here's what you've done. You disrespected anybody who's come after him and said basically because he performed a certain peak here, that's the best ever.
He was the bridge to this new stuff.
Okay. Well, that's not what you said.
He was the greatest. He's the greatest to ever do it. Dude, he wrestled 360 days a year.
And? Is that stupid or is that
They
smart?
don't do that. They don't do that now.
What that's what
They
I'm getting
held
at.
that franchise together, man.
They were struggling. They must have needed him to do that. That's my point. Guys that are better don't have to do that. That's just the way it is, man.
What do you mean guys that are better don't have to do that? What do you mean?
Guys
Vince structured a different Vince was smart, and let me tell you why. Vince structured his business towards the kids. The NWA and the South franchises structured it to the working man. It was the the man's soap opera. That's what it was. It wasn't Vince did. He was a smarter businessman when it came to it because he took those guys that were hot, your Macho Mans, your Junkyard Dogs, your Iron Sheiks, your Jake the Snake Roberts, your Roddy Piper,
boss man. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
look.
the list goes on. I mean, they had tons of superstars, but Vince was smart because it's okay. The comparison is this: the NBA that Michael Jordan was a part of was a much more brutal NBA. Do you agree or not agree?
Much more brutal?
Oh, I mean, as far as more
yeah,
physical.
Getting fouled, physical. Okay.
Yeah, more physical, right? And those guys played every game, right?
Okay.
So I compare Ric Flair to those guys. Now, the basketball players today, they taking days off. They barely getting touched.
Who took days off?
Every now and then they all take days off.
I mean, because I can pull like right now. I can tell you, I think LeBron only missed a handful of games this year, and he's 20 years. He's 20.
Listen to me.
21 year.
Listen to me.
Hold on. But you're saying they're not as hard on the player, and
what I'm saying, it's one thing to be injured. It's another thing to take a day off.
Okay. Well, I guess maybe that what you're suggesting, he's the best ever, but his management was piss poor around him.
I think they didn't. I think they were
failed him if he's the greatest ever.
They were in a different world.
Okay. Well,
and you probably need to watch the Nature Boy documentary, and you can get a better little perspective.
I've watched it. I'm telling you that if he's the greatest ever, he would have been on top a long time.
He was on top for a very long time.
He's not the face of the current for an all-time great. He's not the face,
of the current.
They still use Hogan for that.
70 years old.
How old is Hulk Hogan?
Hogan ain't. He's not the face of anything now.
What are you talking about, man? Come on, man.
What are you talking about?
Hulkamania is still running wild.
You know what, man? We're in two different worlds again.
Piper's still running wild. He's dead and gone. Come on, man.
How do you feel like Piper's running wild, man?
Man, they still pumping his stuff, man. I'm telling you, dude. Look, you need to brush up on who's still there. You need to brush up on it, not me. You need to brush up on it. You need to get with it and find out who's still, when someone young comes in, who they're taking on, who's mentoring them, what style they come with. It ain't Ric Flair.
Oh no, I mean, there's only one of those, man. And I'm gonna tell you something. Let me tell you something.
He wasn't great. You said the best.
Let me tell you something. He was. There was a guy by the name of, you may not even know, this guy by the name of Buddy Landale. You know who he was? He wanted to be the Nature Boy too. He was the Nature Boy, Buddy Landale. And what do you know about him, Billy?
Couldn't tell you.
There you go.
Okay.
So that should tell you right there. Now I think, honestly and truly, I think he was a pretty good wrestler. He was just in the other franchise, and he was in the B League.
He was in the other piss poor management.
You call it what you want, Billy. I'm just saying, like, a different demographic, man, that they tailored to.
Okay, well, if one takes over the other, someone was failing him or failing the somebody backed out. Someone saw, hey, there's not potential here for us to continue to grow. We don't have the people, the names. It's just what it is,
Hey,
man. It is what it is, man. It's okay.
got you, bro. It's all good. But I enjoyed being with you tonight.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I just it's a shame that you're so dusty on that record, man.
Dude, I stand on it, man. Ric Flair, greatest one to ever do it, period.
Look, shout
I'll
out to
let us
Ric.
know. Hey, so look,
Ric Flair is
when you
great.
watch this video, put down who your favorite wrestler is. You can put all time and then your current.
This weekend was supposed to be just chill. We just kind of talk a little bit, catch up on some things, and
Right.
we went into whatever. I don't know. We got into wrestling.
We got into science, and then we
did get into we did prove that Ric Flair is not the greatest ever, which is good.
Prove that unproven.
Well,
Nature Boy is Ric Flair is the greatest to ever do it. Period.
Hey man,
hey man, hit the logo thing, man.
It's too late for that. Listen, you've already given your Ric Flair. We didn't even do that. That's the thing. Like, I'm so unprofessional here. I don't know. I just, you know what I found? You know what? Here's the thing. We were going to do a couple recordings this week,
right?
And of course, we had stuff come up, and life comes at you. Things happen, and sometimes you don't feel good. Whatever. You got to get ground. You got to grind and do stuff. So we had stuff lined up to do. And then today was going to be a chill Sunday. We were just going to talk a little bit and all. We were going to play that when we got going. See, man, it's just not enough time.
It's not.
And it's an hour already.
I know.
What did we talk about? Like 5 topics. I don't know. We went from one thing. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was fun.
I just wish that
y'all let us know if you had fun or not today. I think
Ric Flair.
Greatest ever do it, man. That was breaking news.
To do what?
I'm just telling you, it was
greatest to ever do what? Yell at the people in the kitchen? I mean, what's the greatest
wrestler of all time?
I gotta give you a hard time, man.
I know. I appreciate it too, man.
But yeah. Anyway, make sure you guys subscribe. Hit the like button for us. Comment in the section down there below. Even if you didn't like what we did tonight, we were just rolling, just talking. Yeah, it was a little step back from having topics, or having something to have to talk about. We just wanted to come on and say hello and do our thing. And we got off to a whatever start here and just went with it. So I have fun.
Appreciate you guys, though. We really do. For our subscribers and the watchers, if you guys are watching and you haven't subscribed, please hit the button because it helps the channel grow.
It does.
We're looking forward to doing some more cool stuff.
This week, we're going to try to get together and do at least 1 or 2 recordings this week coming up, depending on news cycles and what's going on. Try to give our opinions on a few things. But I appreciate you joining along. And it's unfortunate that Big's not brushed up on his wrestling. And I think eventually, we'll get him there.
Yeah,
we may need a few more people to come in and hit him over the head with one of them sticks. What are things they use, man? What do they call them?
Baton?
No, not when I hit you with a baton, man. It's right now they use them when they're wrestling. They're like tied together, and at the end they all vibrate when they hit each other with them and all that. What's them sticks called, man?
I haven't been watching.
See, thank you. He has not been watching, yet he's telling you who the greatest to ever do it is. Got to brush up, man.
I hear you.
I mean, some people might think Paul might be the greatest.
Who's Paul?
Logan Paul, man. Not Logan Paul.
Oh. He's a wrestler. I mean, he's a boxer.
No, the other brother. Jake Paul.
Jake's a boxer. They're both boxers.
Jake Paul's the one doing all the wrestling, man. He was just at WrestleMania. He's got the
you mean Logan? Logan's wrestling.
Logan Paul.
But he was a boxer first.
Logan, yeah. Well, he YouTuber. I don't know about.
No, he was a boxer. He's had professional fights.
He's not wasn't a boxer. He was a YouTube sensation who boxed.
He met his brother. And he boxed as a boxer. They both got trained, but
That's not what
Logan
I'm talking about. What I'm saying is that's not what he did,
Jake
though.
turned it out being better than him.
Ooh.
Yeah, Jake's better.
And he would say
Hold
that?
on, which one's fighting Paul? Which one's fighting Tyson?
Which one? Which one's fighting Tyson?
Yeah.
I don't know, Logan, Jake, one of the two, man.
Yeah, one of them.
We actually, and then we're getting off track here, man. We are gonna stream that. We're gonna stream that fight in
July 20th.
Commentary.
Right.
Yeah. So we will be
join us
live for that. All right, Big. Anything else you want to throw out there, man?
Other than Ric Flair being the greatest of all time, the best to ever do it.
Other than that, yeah. Okay.
Well, other than thank you guys for tuning in. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, sir. Enjoy it. Be safe.
Yep.
And we'll see you on the flip side.
We are the outspoken ones.
Ric Flair, man. Yeah.
Till next time.
All right. Yeah, we're outspoken ones. Give us a follow, man. I just can't get past this Ric Flair thing, man.
Hey, man.
We're gonna have to do an episode. All right, we're out.
Woo!
Later.
Peace.